Hello and welcome back to the Fate of Ort. We made, well, I mean, last episode was kind of a mixed bag. Half of it I did nothing, and half of it, or I shouldn't say did nothing. I wandered around kind of aimlessly. And then we visited Tarcomundo, what I assume was the birthplace of corruption, or at least where Duke Camersault kind of mastered his research of corruption. I think that's my going theory right now. We then defeated basically the most powerful wizard in the world, in theory, and gained access to the attuner. The attuner is a really interesting new mechanic that basically allows us to set how much XP we get, or at least the ratio of XP versus like things like coins. So I've maxed out XP for now because I'm more interested in gaining that than I am gaining money or equipment, because I think our equipment is actually pretty good. But then it also lets us set things like how much damage we do or how expensive some of our spells are. And as we do damage, if the damage we're dealing is more than the damage we're taking, then our tuner gains, I guess, energy. So okay, this guy's life, so we want to use shadow. So we may actually gain some attuner right now. Ooh, that was really nice. I did say we were going to level up last episode, and unfortunately that turned into a lie because we didn't level up, but that's okay. These things happen. I have very high amount of faith that we will level up this time. I'm just going to throw down a familiar down there. Oh. These things are really cute. Some of the sprites in this game are just like the most adorable thing ever. I'm surprised it did not explode. Rupture. Die. Yes. Oh, that was good. We did take some damage there, so unfortunately our tuner probably didn't get anything. Oh, I can't believe that wasn't a level up right there. We're so close. All right, so where are we? Northwest Castle Craventhaw. So we're getting pretty close. And then what's southwest? My instinct tells me to go there first. Oh, Duke Camersault, you're just everywhere. The snow is beautiful, isn't it? The blanket on the ground, pristine, untouched. It will be a shame to stain it with your blood. I shut down the machine in Tarcomundo. Prismatic ether siphon, was it? Some such gibberish. He waves his hand dismissively. It greatly accelerated the rate with which consumption is spreading, I must admit. Have you met any mages crazed with power yet? Do you enjoy their craft? The machine has done its part. You haven't even bought your world an extra minute. Alright, let's try and do some nice damage to Duke. So he's life, so shadow should be good, and we can deal some... I think it was correct in my assumption that you don't want to point directly at Duke. You want to aim your spells towards him instead. Ouch. No, never mind. That doesn't seem to work. He seems to instinctively know that you're casting a spell towards him. Plague got him, though. That was good. Oh, he missed this. Him teleporting just is the worst. Where is he? He's definitely gaining more health. As, like, every time I fight him, he seems to gain more health. Maybe there's a time, like, before he teleports. So, like, as soon as... No, never mind. I just don't know the mechanics for which he teleports. But I do know that Plague will always hit him. Let's go ahead and persuade this guy to go over and fight him. The other nice thing about persuade... Oh, Well, the bad thing about Persuade is that it doesn't work. The good thing about Persuade is it's almost guaranteed to do some damage. Especially against Duke Camerasalt, because the thing is that he doesn't really have much defense against his own creatures fighting him. Like, look at that. His own creature, like, killed him. Let's go ahead and plague everything. We did level up from that. Thank goodness. These guys are about to die, so I'm going to hit them with a rupture. Ooh, that was nice. Oh, that was really cool. The cascading effects can be really fun. So I do want to go southwest. And we're going to gain a new spell. I'm hoping we will have access to the next area because I don't really want what was left on the table. I'm pretty sure it was like a wall and a totem. We do have access to the next area. Nice. So these are the last set of spells. So we've got the forces of nature themselves are at my fingertips. I can summon shards of ice from the ground, lightning bolts, showers of meteors. Tremble before me. Oh, this is Zerathram's spell. I wonder if his magical stone will give me something towards that. Magic was historically applied for practical purposes. This particular spell was used by life-aligned miners to create shockwaves to blast large rocks. Mind-aligned practitioners could use it to untangle charms, dispelling any nearby magic. Shadow-aligned weather weavers attempted to summon rain, though noted it was tinged with acid that weakened whatever it struck, thus making it useless for farming. And then our last one is, I have peered through the veil of reality and I can unravel it at will. Asialuma lets me move with blinding speed. Myra Acuria blinks me here and there, teleporting instantly. Shal Malak, belligerent as always, pushes aside both creatures and projectiles. I think I want this. I know Force of Nature is the big want, of course. That'll be the next spell I get. But I've wanted teleportation like really bad. It's been a constant desire for me to have something like this for several different quests and also just moving around. And let's check it out. Oh, it's everything I wanted and more. We got a dwarf here. Oof, we're taking more damage than we're dealing. Can we put this guy to sleep? Oh, we should have teleported. That would have been a good teleport right there. Oh! So these guys, this guy is Shadow and Mind. Mind, that means I need life and mind against this guy. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and plague them both. Oh, plague all three of them. Never mind. We'll also throw down a rupture. Let's throw down a shadow turret. I haven't done a turret in a while. It seems like forever. Oh, very nice. Very nice amount of damage there. Everything just kind of explodes, and I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy to sleep. The sleep spell is nice. I like the sleep spell. This guy is life, so therefore shadow will be what we want to use against them. I'm just going to throw down a couple of bolts. Oh, I didn't need to use that many. I could have reserved a couple and therefore probably attuned ourselves a little bit. So this next level up is going to take a while for sure. I think if I was to guess, I would say that 10 is probably the cap. I do want to check out this rift, but I really think that now is not the time. I guess that's what's over here. No. We have to be here. We got to go north. Oh, what are you doing? You are shadow, so I should be using a magic missile. Magic missile is also only 2. I guess our tuner is working as intended and is reducing the cost of our mind spells. I will check out that rift, but I want to find a nearby fate spike if I can. So you are life, therefore shadow. Nice. You are life, therefore shadow. I'm gonna throw down a familiar. It's a easy 7 HP for the sake of basically an insta kill is nice. This guy is not telling me what type he is, so I'm just gonna throw that down. Man, the corpse explosion thing is really nice. It just kind of works. Okay, this seems like a good scenario for a persuade. I'm also gonna throw down a scarecrow. Maybe. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Maybe I was. I've become very powerful apparently, and just seem to win. This guy looks like that Sohort dude. Let's go ahead and persuade them. He is life, therefore shadow. Nice. That attuner doesn't seem to be gaining much. Oh, we've got another cave here. Do we want to check out the cave? The cave might just be an alternate way to get here. Or not. By the way, for the record, I don't know if anyone cares or who's watching this who might actually want to play this game. You don't have to use mouse for movement. I've discovered you can use like all keyboard shortcuts to control everything. I just have kind of gotten used to it, and I find it pretty intuitive for the most part. Wow, that guy is fast when he wants to be. So he's mind. I should be, well, if I had life, I would use it, but I don't have life. He can dodge my stuff. It's okay, I can put him to sleep and then kill him. There's nothing over here but things to kill. I think this is just an alternative method to get here. So I'm actually going to leave because I want to get north to Castle Craventhaw. Thaw? I don't know. Oh, we want to go northeast. I'm assuming that Queen, whatever her name is, Lagomuta, is going to have the life gem. Or I guess the last gem. I shouldn't say life gem. Just the last gem. And so, therefore, I'm going to be able to have all three elements. It's part of why I'm, like, prioritizing it right now. So this looks like pretty castle-y. Enemies respawn when you return to a fate spike. So there is actually like semi-Dark Souls stuff in this game. Let's I wonder if the attunement looks any different. It doesn't. So I'm still working on improving our attunement, but I'm not sure exactly how. Well, I know how, but I just have to keep working at it. It only works so long as we're doing more damage than we're taking. But also casting spells does damage to us, so it's not guaranteed that we will always be able to improve our attunement. After taking shape, the Duke looks around. He shakes his head. Castle Craventhaw. I used to sympathize with the plight of the North, but their righteousness is skin deep. Really. They are just haughty pity merchants. They wallow in their perceived martyrdom. But if they had the power, they would oppress just as readily as their grassland nemesis. Nemesis? So today Duke is mind, which suits me just fine since my mind powers are pretty good. Can I put you to sleep for a moment? I don't know if that works, but I'm going to throw down a trap. Wow, that did nothing. Oh, they did a lot actually. Putting him to sleep actually seems to do quite a bit. The camera cell takes 100 mind damage with resistance of 50. I'm wondering if I have the these backwards. I think maybe Shadow is good against Mind. That makes sense actually, because Life versus Shadow makes more sense, which would mean Mind is good against Life. So if there's Shadow, I should be using Shadow. That being said, I did do a lot of damage to them. That sleep spell is actually broken. And Rupture hits them no matter what. Amazing. That was the easiest time I've had with the Duke yet. I guess we'll revisit the Fate Spike. May as well get that 100 health back. So I wonder if can we teleport through these? A gruff voice issues from behind the visor, echoing in the empty arena. Come for a show, eh? Well, no time for that anymore. Everyone's out fighting, and it's all about that cursed magic. He lifts the visor to spit on the ground. No one respects a good brawl anymore. What's wrong with magic? You seen the way these mages behave? She would never admit it, and Shal Molak knows I'd never say it to her face. But not even the queen herself has any control over them ever since they got a hold of their powers. The look in their eyes, like they're stuck in a blood frenzy. Why aren't you fighting? Too old. My glory days are behind me. There's something undignified about a warrior dying of old age. My armor is rusting, but I don't feel like I am. Say, you're not up for a scrap, are you? Maybe I can go out in glory after all. Let's do it. The arena shall see warriors once more. We'll go whenever you're ready. Wear any armor you wish and pick a sword. We'll have a clean, honorable fight. No tricks, no magic. I'm ready. I won't use magic. For the glory of Shal Molak, receive one of us as a sacrifice in your honor. So... Okay. Ouch. Okay, as long as we time our hits, we should be fine. He died. That was pitiful. I fall with glory after all. You are a decent swordsman. After drawing his final breath, the warrior rests on the floor of the arena. Sad. You feel approval radiating from the dead warrior. His blessing affects your swordsmanship. Permanent 5% increase in melee damage applied. Nice. That's kind of nice. I appreciate that. So where do I go here? It doesn't seem to be anywhere to go. Is this just the armory? Oh, there's more places to explore in the castle yet, so we're not done. All right. Let's just throw down a sacrificial familiar. It's an easy way to kill like everything. I guess the sword is a really easy way to improve our tuner. There's something shiny there, or not. I don't know. Because, you know, we'll always deal more damage than we take. But not with this guy. This guy is going to need to be put to sleep. He needs the big sleep, actually. Throw it in a mine trap. Oh, that didn't kill him? He's life. So in theory, mine should be the thing I use. Knight takes 100 mind damage with resistance of 60%. I don't get it. So if I do shadow, yeah, 100 damage with resistance of 20%. So yeah, life takes more damage from shadow. That makes sense. That's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works. This is a prime situation for persuade. And I'm also going to throw in a couple of magic missiles in there. I don't know if damage that enemies do to each other due to your spell counts towards your tuner. There's a shadow chest, which I should be able to use or open. Nice. And put this guy to sleep and then use our sword. Nice. I don't know how the attuner like works, I guess. Like how much more damage should we be doing? So this guy is shadow. Oh, I got really confused. I feel like that means I should be using life. I'm gonna have to experiment, clearly. So if we use a magic missile, oh, they have 0 resistance to magic missile. So that means mind is actually good against shadow. I guess? I don't know anymore. I honestly don't know. I need to like go back to that shrine that just told you what is good against what, and just like hammer it into my brain. I'm gonna let this guy chase me. I don't know what's down here. Probably nothing. Oh, there's a NPC maybe that I can talk to. Prisoner sways on his feet, muttering to himself, and occasionally taking swigs from a clay jug. I was a sailor once, sailed all over the seas. The lands I did see, giant mushrooms, talking. He pauses to burp. Insects. How did you get that? Fish? He brandishes the jug at you, spilling a splash of potent-smelling brew on the prison floor. I've got connections. Why are you in here? Bah, he waves his hand dismissively. It was just a little brawl. They'll let me out soon as I sober up. He pauses, inspecting the jug in his hand. Ha, he snorts as he takes another big gulp. All right. Too bad he doesn't have any charts. I wonder if there's alternate ways to complete the quest without giving the books back to the chroniclery. Hey kid, over here. Praise Asialuma. In her sweet, sweet mercy, she brought you here to save me. I've got a new lease on life. The man standing in the cell greets you with a winning smile. He is kitted out with various tools and gadgets, and holds what appears to be a rudimentary explosive. What are you doing? It's all just a big misunderstanding. I'll tell you, these northerners are so rigid and uncompromising. There's no reasoning with them. No, once I'm out of here, I'm heading straight back to warmer climes. That's for sure. What did you do? Nothing that would warrant such harsh treatment, anyway. It's all just a big misunderstanding. What did they think you did? They think I was trying to steal from the Queen's treasury. Imagine that, when really I'm just an admirer of fancy architecture. You know, buildings and stuff. That's what I was doing, admiring the architecture. Sure. If I was more prideful, I would be offended, but I care not for prestige. I am but a humble traveler in this journey of life. At this, he bows with exaggeration. Now, will you be my hero and let me out of here? Sure. You realize that this most likely is the person that Bullhead, the bounty hunter, is seeking. If you let him go, you will not be able to inform Bullen of his location. Yeah, why would we want to let him go? Why would we want him to be killed? There's not really much to root us in either direction. Like, do I care about this person? Have they done much to, I don't know, endear themselves to me? That being said, I don't think I would want them to die. Let him go. You grab the key hanging on the wall nearby and slip it into the rusty lock. The door creaks as you let it fall open. Thank you, thank you. I owe you one. Big time. Anything I can help with? Blow something up? Bust someone out? Someone I know is standing trial for a crime he didn't commit. More injustice. I know how he must feel. We can't let that go on, can we? I've got some things to take care of first, but meet me over at the courthouse and we'll get him out of there in style. When I'm outside the cell, this fine lady will prove way more useful indeed. He smirks as he taps the explosive in his hands. I was kind of hoping he would help me with the dragon egg. This guy has mind. So that would mean life is what I need. So let's try shadow. 50% resistance. And then mind is 25% resistance. You're dealing more damage than you are taking. Nice. Put him to sleep. So I think the attuner just takes a while. That's really the only thing you need to know about it, is it takes a while. So it looks like we're finally gonna release Slovo from his prison. Not sure where I am, where I'm going, but we're gonna continue exploring as much as I can. Where am I? Falsely imprisoned. I don't know where I am. Castle Craventhal. I guess I am just in Castle Craventhal. Bunch of dudes over here. Very nice. Nice. Very easy. Ow, that last. I didn't need to take that damage, but it's fine. I forgive myself, you know? You gotta do that for yourself occasionally. I didn't play super optimally, that's fine. All right. So where are we? This looks pretty penultimate. I'm gonna throw down a scarecrow, and then I'm gonna throw down a mine sentry. Can we also do a familiar? Nice. Basically took no damage there. I know there's some more enemies, but I'm just kind of like pressing on into the castle. This seems like the direction that we want to go. I know there's like other places I should probably do more exploring, because you never know what you're gonna find around the corner. You could find a dude that's gonna help you release your master, you know? Ah, here, this looks like the queen. And it looks like she has more goods that she's gonna try and bribe me with. Guards, guards, the queen shrieks as you approach. When no one comes, she drops her feigned helplessness. No one is coming, right? I suppose you have won yourself an audience then. Her body looks ancient, frail, and withered, but her eyes are sharp and dripping with cynicism and resentment. She holds a small crystal shaped as a teardrop. You recognize it as the same crystal that brought you to the sisters back at the academy. Who is my audience with? The queen sneers. I am the last of the Ptarmigans, bulwark of the north, effigy of incessant betrayal, grieving mother. I am Queen Lagomuta. I've spent my life defending these lands, suffering injustice after injustice. Whatever new iniquity you bring to these halls, know that I have already dealt with wrongdoing more severe, perpetrated by criminals of far greater stature than you. I am not a criminal. Oh, are you not? She scoffs. Spare me the indignity of your lies. You are practically dripping with blood. You grasslanders are all the same. What is that supposed to mean? For centuries, the belligerent grasslanders have slithered into the Tarmacan taiga, seeking to expand their putrid empire. Much as they try, they have never succeeded. With a smirk, she adds, what can a soft, slithering grass snake do to a raptor of ice? Why do they come here? Her eyes narrow with hatred. Salaban mortifax. Too dangerous to be called a fool, yet too stupid to be called a brute. All he knows is power. He wasn't able to break me, but... Her body sags as the painful thought spreads. But what? She leans forward and hisses. He murdered my daughter. Pure innocent Ripa. I should have known better than to offer her to the Mortifax dogs. Offer her? Why? It was a naive gambit to broker peace between our families. Marry my dear Ripa to Salaban's son. I knew better, but Zarathum and the rest managed to persuade me. The cur didn't even wait until the end of the ceremony to murder her. Oh, how I wish I could slit his throat. Her jaw is clenched, her knuckles white as she grips her crystal. Then what happened? I want to know about Zarathum, to be honest. He blamed me, of course. He used it as an excuse to declare war. Everybody knew what really happened, except his fool son Camersalt. I practically raised him, you know. He was sent to study with our mages in the Black Tower. I think he must have really loved my daughter, but he was too naive to realize his father would use that against him. So Camersalt taught his father's wizards a magic so powerful it could destroy the world. Yet it didn't? No, it didn't, the queen nods. He must have realized his folly, for he fled here. He didn't want to share his secret with us at first. What good would knowing about the weapon be, if we had no way to defend ourselves? So I had Zarathum question him until he revealed the secret. I see. So you tortured him. And that's ultimately why I didn't give a crap about Zarathum, as he seemed to be very pragmatic in his ways, very prone to kind of making, quotation marks, the tough choice in order for the good of the world. What that really means is, yes, let's use corruption in order to create peace for us, quotation marks, and also let's use torture. So, my mercy, or sorry, not my mercy, but my pity for the North is not really there. You had Camersalt tortured. The queen's eyes narrow. Perhaps you forgot your place. This is a sovereign nation, and I am the head of it. This is not an interrogation, and I do not appreciate your insinuations. I had Camersalt questioned so that I could protect my land and my people. What did you learn from him? He was babbling incoherently, fevered blasphemy about consumption and scorned versions of the sisters. Zarathum got what he needed, though, and set about instructing the battle mages. What happened to Camersalt after that? He was free to leave, so he did. Said he was heading to the temple to speak to the sisters so that they could stop consumption and the scorned. That is the last I ever heard of him. He might have become an acolyte, or more likely, the denizens of the temple took pity on him in his madness and cared for him until he passed. What happened after he left? Our battle mages met with the Mortifax army on a field in the west. You'll know it as the Russ now. Now it was a spectacular sight to behold, I hear. Two unstoppable forces colliding, scorching everything around them. The West has never been the same. Of course, both sides were entirely wiped out. Fighting continued, though abated. Then one day, magic just vanished. How so? I know not. Ask a scholar. What I do know is that ever since then, we have been spared the belligerent hordes from the south until now. Can you tell me about Zarathum? Zarathum was the archmage of the Turcomundo at the time. I assume he perished in the rust with the rest of them, but knowing him, he may as easily have fled to save his own skin. Can you tell me about the Black Tower? The queen sighs. Most inscrutable beacon of the arcane, home to the greatest magicians of the world. Blah, blah, blah. Dusty old men. They will bore you with their esoteric ramblings until your ears fall off. But they are necessary. They are a necessary evil. They can wreak violence far greater than any sword or arrow. They benefit from our patronage, and in return I benefit from their havoc. Camersault is still alive. I know that, she says without missing a beat. Her face remains composed, but a flicker in her eyes implies that the information is new to her. She clasps her crystal firmly to her chest. What is that crystal? The sanity drains from her eyes, and she snarls at you. Oh, finally the Grasslander's true purpose is revealed. You are here to steal my crystal. What a surprise. You wouldn't know where to begin with using it. I'm sure I can't appeal to your sense of honor, so perhaps I can appeal to your greed. Behind me is the treasury of Castle Craventhaw, wealth beyond your imagination, amassed over centuries, the finest magical charms and trinkets, all yours. She leans forward, vicious resentment twisting in her face. If you kneel for me, lunge for the crystal. No, guards, help me, she shrieks as you snatch the crystal away from her with ease. You are struck by how withered and frail she is, far beyond the normal ravages of age. She hisses with impotent fury, and the bitterness of yet another betrayal she was powerless to stop. As you are pulled to another dimension, you see her slump back into her throne. I'll talk about my decision in a moment. Finally, you are back. She lays a hand on your shoulder, gently at first, but her grip hardens and her nails dig in. Do not delay. Do not dither. Go and destroy consumption now so that my daughters may be safe. Yeah, I'm having second thoughts. Hi again, Asi Aluma chirps with a grin on her face. Is it time for us to go? Oh, please say yes. I love it here, but I want to experience something new. Yes, let's go. I'm assuming I can't teleport through here. Blinding speed. So we have our third. Yeah, I can't teleport through that. So I was wrong about that. Here's my thoughts. I'm actually kind of worried that the game is intentionally leading me down a false path. I feel like maybe the sisters are not all that is cracked up to be. I mean, of course they're gods, but I am starting to believe the Camersault's tale of the scorned sisters, that, you know, they were basically a product of the sisters' creation and the creation of the world. What does that mean? I mean, what does that have to do with us? Well, you know, I think about what we have done. And, you know, what we did with, to Camersault, not Camersault, Mortifax, the king, basically. The king, you know, I don't respect the king, and I don't really respect the queen either. They're both kind of pragmatists, and did what they needed to do in order to protect their kingdoms and also, you know, grow in power. That's not exactly a desirable trait as far as I'm concerned. But I do feel somewhat that the queen, you know, didn't exactly have a good time in life in their pursuits to protect the world from the likes of, you know, the, as she puts it, grasslanders. And I think in a way the sisters kind of betrayed her as well. You know, like, they could have just as easily contacted her as they did to me, right? Why not? I guess you could argue, well, they didn't contact her because she's evil. You know, to do what you think is right, despite the costs, you know, there's a certain amount of, I don't know. It's not great. It's not a good look, I think, in general. So this leech spell is amazing. Damn. Does a lot of damage, and we got a lot of health back. It's not a good look, and just in general, oof, I don't think it's a good for business. So I do wonder if the mother and the sisters just kind of said, nah, we're good. We don't want to deal with her. We don't want to help her, and her kingdom doesn't really matter to us, right? There is that possibility. There's also the possibility that the sisters and the mother have their own thing going on. This guy is Shadow. So life should be doing damage to them, but 50%. So let's try mind. I'm still trying to figure out what is what. Yeah, so Shadow is weak to mind. So in order, it's Shadow. It's whatever is on the left. So life is weak to Shadow. Mind is weak to life. Shadow is weak to mind. Okay, I think I can remember that. It's whatever's on the left. We can see that the mother has an agenda. It's not necessarily an evil agenda, but as we've also seen from other agents in this game, an agenda doesn't make you evil. It's how you enact that agenda. Quotations, the ends justify the means kind of thing, right? So I'm wondering if the mother was doing everything that they could to protect her daughters. They made a mistake, and the daughters of consumption were created, and they didn't really know what to do about that. They made a world, and they were responsible for it, and they didn't really do much to fix their mistake. So how do you contend with that? How do you figure all of that out, untangle this kind of nest of morality? It's a lot of gray areas, which I do appreciate. I like some gray area moral choices. But I do wonder that in the same way, using spells of consumption corrupted Commersault and also, corrupts people and turns them into monsters. I wonder if using spells of the sisters and, growing kind of attached to power isn't also a mistake, in that I'm sort of playing into their hands somewhat. It's a question I'm asking, and I am wondering if that's sort of where we're going. And I also wonder if accepting consumption is not necessarily a bad thing. They did say in the very beginning of the game that it's not necessarily wrong, and it will have effects that ripple out throughout to the end of the game. So what I guess what you do with that information is up to you. I'm not sure. I'm kind of parsing it all out and thinking out loud. It sounds to me like they are saying, hey, you're free to go and try and get to Darkamot or whatever it is and beat the game. I don't necessarily want to do that yet. There's still a lot left unexplored. I still would really like to solve that dragon quest at the very least, and I'm sure there's some other very interesting quests that I would like to solve. So I'm not done yet. Like I said, I guess in the beginning, I want to complete the quests that interest me, not necessarily all of the quests. I don't necessarily want to 100% the game, but I'll do what I can. So I think someone is meant to meet me here, falsely imprisoned. Freed the man in the prison cell. He promised to help me free Master Slova from the courthouse. I am to meet him at the courthouse. So why is there a marker there then? So I guess I'm going there to the courthouse. So this is a major story thing about to be lifted as well. There he is. The man smirks as you approach. He is distractedly juggling his explosive, bouncing it nonchalantly from hand to hand. Well met, friend. It's great to see you again. His smile fades briefly as he taps the wall next to him. Sturdy bit of construction, this. I've got some good news and some bad news. What are the good news? Good news is I could definitely blast this wall open. Well, but that is kind of relative to the bad news, which are, this baby isn't strong enough on her own. We need to amplify the explosion real good. Some Slogger's Boon would do the trick. What is Slogger's Boon? Mad old plant, the man chuckles. The berries make you see things, if you don't puke them back up. That is. Terribly upsetting. He pats his belly knowingly. Gather enough and press them for oil, and you got yourself a potent accelerant. Where can I find them? Used to grow all over the dragonfly fen. That was before that strange building popped up in the deep forest. Since then, supply has all but dried up. Haven't seen any in a while. Picked clean, I guess. But what they use it for, I have no clue. Wait here, I'll find some. So we're not done yet. We can't free Master Slovo just yet. That's fine with me. I'm happy to press on. So I guess we're heading towards Dragonfly Fen. I'm assuming we want to head this way. So I'm going to head to the Shrine of the Sisters and then kind of hook myself around. I guess we have like blinding speed if we want to. It costs some health though. Oh, what? I wonder how long blinding speed lasts for. Well, we know it doesn't last multiple screens. So Leech seems like a really good spell. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that down. Because it pretty much pays for itself. It's also really cheap. Like, that's just a really, really good spell. Okay, so now we need to head east. We should have everything we need now. There shouldn't be anything that we really were like limited by anymore. That was a good spell. I could have got one more in there, but that's fine. So this must be doing loads of good for our tuner since we're actually gaining health from using it. So these guys are life. That means they're weak to shadow, as I understand it. 0 resistance. So I think I finally cracked the code. We got worms, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. I don't really care for any of you. I'm just going to walk past them. XP, yeah, I know XP, but, you know, it's fine. We don't need it. Not from these guys. They're not going to really provide a lot of XP. These guys, maybe. So we got shadow, shadow, shadow. So they'll be all weak to mind. And indeed, they did take a lot of damage. Well, they had 50% resistance, though. I don't know. I'm going to stick to this logic because having to rethink the whole thing several times is a lot for my poor, feeble YouTuber brain. Just climb, she says with a laugh. Ahead, the grasslands abruptly end in a swiftly ascending cliff wall. The Korpa Range towers overhead, large imposing mountains blotting out the sky. Nearby, a young woman drops from a boulder and dusts herself off. Heading up the pilgrimage or something? It's easy, just climb. But I can't. Oh, what a shame, she wrings her hands in mock grief. I think it's probably for the best. If you stay down here, a fall would probably not hurt you too much. Might even improve your looks. Rude! Absolutely rude. Look at all the equipment we got. Monsters drop 3% more coin. Nah. Monsters drop 13% more coin. Nah. Monster vision increased. Monsters drop fewer coins. Projectile distances are reduced. Wow, what a terrible boots. Item find chance. Nope. Melee attack rate plus 15. Melee damage plus 9. Not bad, but not good enough. Chance to evade. Nope. I don't know what that ring was, but it probably was bad. Soul Curse spell cost reduced by 20%. Soul Curse spell cost. Sounds good, but no. Melee damage 28%. I think this is the one I had before. I'll pick up this ring just to see what it does. Life spell cost reduced by 6%. Nope. We're going to talk to our gnome friend and fly up there. What a magnificent mountain. The gnome stands, hands on hips, neck craned to soak in the imposing peaks up ahead. Fancy a climb? The gnome winks at you. I jest. That would be tougher than a gyro wheel stake, and a waste of time to boot when we've got this beauty on our side, the gnome says as he points to the airship. What's up there? I have only a partial impression, gleaned from a distance, but that is what adventure is for. New discovery, mapping the unknown. I did see some places of note, and now that you have disabled that infernal tower, we can explore. I saw that what appeared to be a sprawling temple, constructed of white marble, quite charming. I could also see a swamp, deep in a crater on the mountain, that looked less hospitable. Can we go up using the airship? You bet your rear axle we can. Hop on in and we'll head off. Let's go. So I guess Tarkamundo was the dark tower that destroyed the gnome's airship. That makes sense to me. So this place is rather different. Where are we? We are in Corpora Range. There's a cool temple there. There's going to be a lot to explore over here. This whole other side of the map is like really large, and there's a lot to do. We will certainly not see all of it on this episode, but I'll do my best to see as much of it as I can. We've already got some crazy tech, and what is that? Robots! Yo, we got robots. Can we put robots to sleep? That's lame. That's not a real robot. I'm sorry, but it's not a real robot if you can put it to sleep. I guess maybe unless it's brought to life by magic. So those boxes explode, huh? They seem to have like weird kind of tentacly feet if you catch them in the right light. I love me a robot. Ooh. Oh, I can't open that. I'm actually out of mind coins. So that's no good. That's not an entrance. Oh. Oh. Duke Camerasalt again. You can run to the corners of the world. I will find you. Hide on top of the mountain. It will crumble, like everything else. Give up. I killed Queen Lagomuta. The Duke shrugs. Perhaps you did her a kindness. Even hundreds of years ago, she was nothing but a husk, devoid of all feeling. How could someone so warm or so loving share blood with that frigid crone? Alright, well, it's time for Persuade. Look at that. It costs 2 right now. Our attuner is like doing a lot of work for us. Right now, the Duke is mind aligned, so we would be good to use shadow spells. Alright, Camerasalt. I've defeated you like 15 times already. I can defeat you again. So you should be, in theory, weak to shadow bolts. But I've already hit them with that Persuade. Taking more damage than you are dealing. Your magical attunement has decreased, reducing... what the... Resistance 50%. See, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Then again, all of these guys are slightly different. Let's try a flame dart. 25% resistance. God, the range of that is like outrageous. Let's hit Camerasalt with a... I'm pressing the wrong button here. With a leech spell, since it's instantaneous. I'm just gonna be constantly draining him of health. This is all pretty bad. Life ambush. Trap that deals explosive damage when triggered by nearby target. Phantasmal Raptor Flying Familiar. I think I want to teleport. There we go. I don't know if damage dealt by life, by casting spells counts towards like your attuner. That's my thought. So like in theory, Shadow should be doing more damage against Camerasalt. But I'm not sure if it is. 50% resistance versus how much damage by the flame dart. Life damage with 50% resistance. I wish I could look at this full log. I don't know how much damage I did there. But you know, whatever. It's fine. This ranger is a problem though. I need to deal with them. I'm gonna persuade them. Oh, I should have hit this guy with a persuade as well. All right, so I'll just keep throwing out some shadow bolts. Uh, 100 damage with resistance 50%, net damage of 50. They take 100 damage. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Duke Camersol is kind of a exception. Maybe he doesn't take traditional damage. Wow, he took a lot of damage from that fire pit that he just kind of stood in. So we want to persuade both of these guys. Yeah, get killed by your own dude. Love it. Really sucks that we lost our attunement there. That takes a long time to gain that. But you can always tell you're moving in the right direction when Duke Camersol, bugs you. So I guess I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the weaknesses and such. Like these guys have 50% resistances. But if I hit them with a shadow bolt, they took 0% resistance. They had life, pretty sure. So maybe it's strong against the one to the right. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't figure it out. It's such a simple thing. It's just rock, paper, scissors. And I can see the rock, paper, scissors right in front of me. And yet I can't figure out which one is strong to the one. It's really simple. They told me in like black and white English, wrote it out as plain as could be, and I'm still like, duh. I don't get it. Rock beats scissors? Crawler takes 100. So these guys are life. So in theory, Shadow should be the one, right? Is that what I've come to at this point? Shadow should be strong against them? Yes, 0% resistance. So it's strong against the one to the right, and that makes more sense to me, I guess, because it's the direction that the spells rotate in. I know that's that's really weak reasoning there, but you'll have to forgive me. Also, you'll also have to forgive me as my cat is being an absolute menace right now. Sit down. Stop it. Stop. Okay. Sit. Okay, good. He is seated now. Stop being a menace. I mean, that's basically it for the episode. We fought Camerasalt. We accomplished quite a lot. We got our third orb, our third magic type, and we're headed off to the northeast in like volcano swamps and cool marble temples and stuff. There's all kinds of fun stuff around over here. And I'm pretty excited for most and all of that. I think that should all be pretty fun. I am interested in what some of this is going to add up to. Also, something I should have been doing is looking at, as I explored the world, I really didn't do this, is look for, see, there's a rock there, there's a rock there. I should have been collecting these as I explored the map. I'm assuming these 3 are the ones I found, but might not be true. I do want to, I did find one there. I do want to complete this quest. I'm sure you get something pretty cool. But either way, if you've enjoyed this episode, definitely hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Fate of Ort. Take it easy.